Welcome to my free webinar on course creation. Thank you so much for being here. That means a lot to me. That means that, by seeing my messaging in some places, you got that sparkling light inside you that got your attention and your interest. And I'm here because I want to give you in this webinar some major tips and also steps that you can use to start to start to create your first online course. So, as you can hear from the sentence I just said, I said your first online course, meaning that what I'm going to teach you is something that is going to be particularly useful for you if that's your first experience in creating and publishing a first online course. I'm Katiuscia Baggio, and maybe you know me already, maybe that's the first time you see me. I live in Asolo, which is a lovely small town at the top of the hills in the Veneto region, not so far from Venice. Basically, I built my career in a consortium of 36 American universities. It's called CIMBA, and it's located here actually in Italy, and it's a business and leadership school. I started to work for CIMBA when I was 26 years old back in 2001. And year after year, I had the gift, to become more and more experienced in the coaching and leadership training fields. Particularly, you have to know that from 2001 until 2007, actually, in CIMBA, I was not really teaching. I was not being on stage, meaning that I became at a certain point responsible for the executive education area, meaning that I was in charge for all the training programs for executives, entrepreneurs, companies. So I was building those courses. I was going to promote them, but I was not going to teach. Basically, just long story short, in 2005, I had the opportunity at CIMBA to do the MBA, the Master in Business Administration. Finally, my English was kind of robust enough, to do that program entirely in English. So I started. I took all the classes here in Italy with the people from all around the world. And then I finished my MBA in the US at the University of Kansas. And that was back in 2005. Then, I thought to myself, and now what? Meaning that I was happy about my job, I was happy about what I got from my MBA, but I was not sure about what to do, in the future in my life. I thought that the MBA was going to give me an answer, was going to probably tell me, okay, you might want to be a manager in a corporation in the future, or, you want to work in the marketing fields. After the MBA, I realized that this was not actually what I wanted to do. A year after, in 2006, CIMBA gave me another enormous opportunity. They asked me if I was willing to become a coach. And I said yes. So they sent me to London, and I studied in a school in London. At the time, it was called Results Coaching System. Now it's called Neuro Leadership Institute. And that's where I became a coach, basically from 2006 until recently, from time to time, I was going back to London to take more and more courses, more and more training. This allowed me to become in 2009 also an ICF coach, meaning that I got the accreditation from the International Coach Federation, first as an associate certified coach, and then back in 2017 as a professional certified coach. This gave me also another amazing opportunity at CIMBA to start to train new coaches. So I was teaching in an ICF program, and I was doing my job as a coach with executives, entrepreneurs, corporations. I was still in charge of the executive education area, so I was having a kind of managerial role also. But guess what? At a certain point in my life, I felt that, little call that then was becoming greater and greater, that it was time for me to do something else. Something else didn't mean to change my field, because by becoming a coach, I got the gift to really understand that helping others to develop their potential is what I want to do in my life. But I felt the need to build something that was mine, felt the need to go out of my comfort zone. I felt the need to become somehow an entrepreneur. So back in March 2019, I finished my full-time job at Chimba. I decided to quit and to start my new life, first of all as a freelance, and now more and more as an entrepreneur, meaning that I'm building my online academy, which is based on a book that I published last year, Improvise and Succeed. And I'm building more and more courses also. My first online course actually was born in 2019. I decided to do it in Italiano to honor my mother tongue language, and also to experiment how it was, to do an online course. So I did it, and then I created 2 more courses for Udemy in English, and now I also build my online academy on a website which is called teachable.com. I'm sharing all of this to share with you what was my story, okay? Because it could be that you are pretty much in the same phase I was years ago, where you felt that little voice, that day by day is becoming greater and greater, and it's telling you that maybe you should do something different, something new in your life. Or it could also be that you are absolutely happy with what you are doing in your everyday life, and you are just looking for alternative ways to share what is your knowledge, what is your expertise, your know-how with the entire world, or just with a specific audience you have in mind. So, welcome to my online course creation program one more time. The first thing I invite you to focus on, is to ask yourself, what is my why? Why do I want to start to create an online course? What is really the biggest motivation that is pushing me to do so? It could be that at this stage you're going to tell me, look, my dear Katyusha, I don't have actually a strong motivation yet. I'm just curious, I'm just here to listen what you have to share. What I invite you to do now is to pause for a few seconds this video and ask yourself, what is my why? Go ahead and write down what are the first answers that are going to pop up into your mind. Now that you took the time to explore what is your why, how are you feeling? Maybe you say, look, I felt exactly like I felt a few minutes ago. Maybe, on the other hand, you started to feel some new ideas, some new links, that are going to show up in your mind. If this is happening, okay, let's go from here to what is the next step. The next step when you are planning to build an online course is to think about, of course, what is it I'm going to teach? What is it I'm going to offer in my course? Could be that it's something related with what is your professional experience. Could be that it's something related with the know-how, the expertise that you develop over these past few years. So it's a result, on the other hand, of a long career that you might have. Could be that it's not related at all with your job, and it's a passion you have. It's a hobby. You have to know that actually right now in the entire world, the most successful online courses are courses that are going to teach people how to play piano, how to play a guitar, okay? So the hobby side is not secondary at all. With this in mind, I invite you now to pause again this video and write down what is that you could teach to people. Go ahead and do it. Now that you spent some time to reflect on your motivation, on your why, and what could be the topic of your course, the next step in the course creation journey is usually to identify who is your audience. Who are the people that will be the lucky people that will benefit from your course? Again, it could be an audience that you have in mind because of your professional experience. It could be you don't have immediately, in mind who could be your audience. So this is a very important opportunity you have to think about who are my students. When you study, online course creation, they usually teach you that at this point, the more specific you are, the more successful, very likely, your course is going to be. Meaning that, for example, if I say I'm going to teach how to give and receive effective feedback to all the managers in this world, guess what? Probably my audience is a little bit too generic. I should say I'm going to teach effective feedback to the middle level manager that need to go into the next level in their career. This is already a little bit more specific, okay? At the same time, I don't want you to stress too much at this point because I know how difficult it could be, also from not just based on my experience, but from all the people that are taking my online course creation course right now. It's difficult to identify a specific segment, a specific audience. So it is a step that you might do in the future. You don't need to do it necessarily now. But it's a moment that I invite you anyway to take now. Pause the video and answer the questions. Who is going to be my audience? Go ahead and write this down.